Hi, I'm Patrick.
On Cannonball.
Nobody can see it, I'm walking.
I do.
There's a camera.
And then who are you?
I'm Patrick.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't hear your name, so I was like...
I'm Patrick.
Okay, cool.
We're Team Cannonball, and we're presenting to you our game Cannonball's Quest, much like Sonic Team did Sonic, except we're not going to butcher it later. We start from the beginning. This is a platformer game in which you are a hamster and a ball.
Sorry, that?
No.
Okay. Sorry.
You go back to the Thank you. In which you are a hamster and a ball, trying to go get food. We actually programmed this game in Stencil, and we can demonstrate how to do it after this presentation. So in this, you're a hamster who wants to get food, but his owner's at work, so he has to go to the office to get the food from him.
Wow.
This is like somewhat synced to music as we have. A lot of the jumps on platforms are involved with jumping over platforms in sync with the music.
Not like that. No.
As you can see, we have a checkpoint system. Whenever you die, you'll respawn either at the beginning of the house or at a certain checkpoint coming up. So in this one, we have the beginning of the stage, you're just leaving the house through the kitchen. We'll be adding more platforms through this area soon.
Hopefully not messy.
The second half of the stage is to the park where there's a sandbox. You have to go over the spiky area.
You died?
That is the tricky part. Not dying.
There's somewhat of a multiple pathway branching system in which you can either jump over the chandelier or you can go down onto the bookshelf. There can also be an accessible hatch to the attic or the kitchen, eventually, in 1.2.
Those again!
So after the sandbox area, after the sidewalk area is a sandbox in which you have to jump over the sand dunes and onto the edges of that again, as well as a swing set and a city level. As you can see, this is like very block-based. It's like very blocky. We have these 16 by 16 pixel blocks which we use to build these stages. Some of these are aesthetic, just solid blocks. Some of them, as you can see, are zigzag. The zigzag ones are the actual platforms. The rest are just aesthetic.
And here would be a slide.
Yes. To mark the end of this of the stage, you would go up the slide, up the steps, and slide all the way down and into the air, and it'll transition to the next stage, which is the city.
But invisible.
This is the city stage, where you jump on top of scaffolding, buildings, and eventually go through a building at some point. Dynamic physics.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah, the syncing's a bit late, unfortunately.
That is the price when we're putting it in full screen on a projector, but it should be fairly well in sync if you play it on a normal size on your own computer in a bit.
I like the pictures.
Yeah.
What?
And so that is the end of the game in which we actually have the hamster food, and you're enjoying your hamster food now that you've gotten it back. And that is how we play Cannonball's Quest.
Does anyone have any questions? Questions?
Can you stencil on a PC?
We had a question.
I'm sorry.
Can you stencil on a PC and not just an
Huh?
app?
Yes, we did this on a PC.
But it's free, right?
It is free, and what's nice about it as opposed to Game Maker is the fact that, as you can see at the beginning, there's just a splash screen for just less than 2 seconds, as opposed to a giant, what do you call it, watermark that takes up half the screen, on Game Maker. But it's free, it's fairly easy to use, it's about as easy as Game Maker, and as the website said, the tutorial is actually to demonstrate to make a platformer.
It's a bit buggy when working with multiple people. But
Also because I work on it.
So is that it?
Any other questions about our game, about Stencil? About our game?
Was this inspired by Visual Chrono?
Somewhat, yes.
Yes.
As well as Cannonballs. which is
It
like
has an ad for Cannonballs in this, actually.
Yeah.
Also, I'm wondering if there's any way, any like visual distinction that you made to determine like what you can bump into, and you know what kills you, and what isn't. Because I noticed that there were a lot of times where it kind of looked like you were about to like run into something, and then you just pass through it.
The main distinction is that the platforms that are like have physical capabilities are the ones with the stripes going through them. It is
Okay.
hard to tell in this projector. Again, once it's on your actual display, you'll be able to make the distinction somewhat better.
Yeah.
But the main distinction is that physical platforms are the ones with stripes going through them. And the rest you can just go through.
Right, I think
All right.
that's it.
Thank you.
People know.